Chatter began again, as Bette stood at the table, cutting and handing out slices. The chatter halted at a loud banging on the kitchen door, as all heads turned to see who was turning up. "Someone's late to the party," Posey remarked. "Don't know who," Bert replied. "I didn't invite anyone else." "At least, it can't be Pearl Hawksworth Fox trying to invite herself yet again," Mavis whispered to Belle Harrington. The Hawksworth Foxes, the bane of their lives for 18 months, had disappeared suddenly, 3 months earlier, leaving a partly furnished home and a great deal of speculation. Before Belle could reply, Bert reached the door and flung it open. The group looked over to see who had arrived. For a second, there was anticipatory silence. Then all hell broke loose. Charlie screamed in the back of the room, and other family members gasped as a woman who looked to be in her mid to late 20s, dressed in a caftan-style coat with badly plaited, long blonde hair and a familiar-looking face, stepped into the kitchen. A young man who had been quietly chatting to Bert ran forward, pushing people out of the way. Belle thought he was going to hug the woman, but instead aimed a flying punch which the woman dodged. Bert grabbed his arms and held him back. Belle looked at Bette, whose face had drained of colour. "We thought you were dead," she whispered to the woman. "Clearly not," the woman replied in a voice dripping with sarcasm. "Hello, Auntie Bette, Uncle Bert, Auntie Charlie, Grandma, and my darling brother, little Georgie. I thought some of you might be pleased to see me." Bette stepped forward. "Of course we're pleased to see you, Emily. We're thrilled, of course we are. It's just the shock, you know." She went to give the girl a hug, but Emily shook her off. Georgie pulled himself clear of Bert. "I'm calling the police, you murdering bitch." "Stop, Georgie," Bert said, taking the shaking man by the arm and lowering him down into a chair. He turned to the woman. "You have a lot of explaining to do, my dear. But please, sit down. It's Bette's birthday." The rest of the group had crowded together behind the chair in which Bette's mother, Edna Morris, was sitting, grinning. "I'd rather not. But Auntie Bette can help me, can't you?" she said, looking down to pick at her nails, but taking a quick appraising glance up at the crowd. Bette, who had sunk into a chair, stood up and put her hands on the table to steady her shaking legs. "Everyone, this is my niece, Emily Duggan. 3 years ago, when she was doing her PhD up at the university, she disappeared after the murder of her best friend, a fellow student called Star Bright. Our family has come to believe Emily was dead too." "But here I am," the woman replied. "And I didn't kill anyone."